is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So I finished Ozark, and I really want to give my review for season 4 part 1, but I'm gonna go to Cortex Videos because he really summed it up really nice, 1, and then 2, I'll give my review at the end because he really summed it up nice. So let's take a look at Cortex Videos of Ozark season 4 part 1 has the perfect ending. Let's check this out.
I have finally got round to watching part 1 of Ozark season 4, and so far it's a season that's a masterstroke in tension, building to a potential great final 7 episodes releasing this summer. Yes, part 1 does act as set up in its climactic moments, but it also capitalises on its built tension and plot threads to deliver a shocking ending that was always just around the corner. In this video essay, I'm going to be discussing why Ozark Season 4 Part 1 has the perfect ending, but also one that sets up the conclusion of the series in Part 2 to be hopefully even better. There will be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the latest season, then I would recommend watching this upload after you've caught up. But before I get into it, if you want to see more videos on Netflix shows like Ozark, then don't forget to support this video by giving it a like rating, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your notifications. Also, feel free to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and Instagram at Cortex Videos, which is all linked in the description below. But without further ado, let's dive into my video essay for Ozark Season 4 Part 1. In the final moments of Ozark Season 3, when Helen Pierce got shot in the head, we watched the horror on Marty and Wendy's faces as they realise that they have no idea what they've assigned themselves with. In Season 4 Part 1, the first 7 episodes of a total 14, we return to the birds in the immediate aftermath as they're literally washing the remains of Helen off their faces and clothes. This introduction to the final season sets the stage for a crazy conclusion, and if you've stuck with the tension, yet stayed on the side of the birds throughout, then these installments are full with perfect preludes that tell you it's only the beginning. Yet the first part capitalises on everything the show has been great for thus far, not losing sight of its gripping tension and nuanced story beats. The Bird family have wanted to escape the money laundering business for a long time, yet with each season and each new obstacle, it reminds us that they have gone deeper and deeper into losing that entirely. Just when you think Marty, Wendy, or some of the other crucial characters are about to bite the dust, they always give their worst cooperators a reason to keep them around. The new season continues this trend as Omar Navarro gives the Birds an almost impossible task to pull off, one that will tear into the family more than ever before. And yet they are still facing the aftermath of Wendy's bipolar brother, Ben, one that shows us even deeper how Wendy has gone straight into the deep end of the pool. And while alliances and loyalties have further changed, there's also Julia Garner's grieving Ruth, fresh off her Emmy Award-winning performance in Season 3, leaving Marty in favour of Darlene Snell and her rebooted heroin operation. It's all messed up, with Marty and Wendy attempting to fix the cracks in their own family, all while dealing with a new Navarro in town and the unpredictable Darlene. Not to mention that their son Jonah can't get over the death of Ben, leading him straight to working under Ruth, laundering Darlene Snell's drug money. And speaking of that new Navarro, Omar's worst nephew Harvey is a relentless performance by this new character, one that is preparing to take over his uncle's cartel operations and doesn't see the value in keeping Marty and Wendy alive. So we are left asking, is there really any way out for them? I mean, for most shows that give us satisfying endings, they tend to bring a lot of death along with them come the end, and I'm sure that part 1's car crash at the beginning points us heavily in that direction. But because Ozark is expertly crafted and builds on its tension, we still don't have a complete answer to these questions. With Ozark ending, it's closing its elaborate money laundering schemes, and it's all coming back to its basic and more potentially heavy-hitting themes. Essentially, are they going to get away with it, or are they going to face the consequences? While Season 4 Part 1 doesn't answer this and acts as a logical first step, it does give us the big moments that bring us back for more shock. After a whole half season of tension, it ends with the death of Darlene and Wyatt, along with the primal retaliation of Ruth that we know is coming in Part 2, and it's all the concrete needed for a second part of bloodshed, resolutions, and outright chaos. Most of the early stuff of the birds executing their objectives is predictable, but once the greater tension creeps in surrounding Harvey and the survival of the show's main players, the stakes are ultimately going to be through the roof come the true ending. The relatability comes when the birds are once again given an outlandish task, then they try to succeed, almost failing, but then pull out a wild idea in the midst of more added suspense. But all the while, we learn that it's eating away at them more than ever this time, with examples like Marty thinking about the memories of buying an office and living a successful quiet life, or Ruth wanting to get away with Wyatt moments before he's shot in the head. And when that moment does come, it's of course the final straw. It's the moment where all the main players know that the axe is coming down on them next. Will they survive? Again, the show suggests nothing good will happen, but it's remained impeccably tense and unpredictable, suggesting that really anything could happen at this point. And the acting, led by Laura Linney's heavy turns, keeps you glued to the small screen. She's mesmerising, dealing with a below ruthless persona, far scarier than Bateman's go about it attitude. Whether it's dealing with Ben's death or dealing with her own son's switch to the other side, Wendy at times doesn't care what has to be done to have things their way, and has ultimately reached a solid rock bottom. Yes, she still cares about her family and does things for them to come out alive, but her decisions at times make you hate the people they've become. But then also entertained when you look at it from a performance standpoint. It's all compelling stuff, and it's not easy to say what will happen, all thanks to how this first half goes about its characters, performances, and central writing. As the birds expand from a typical upper middle class family into a super wealthy political power couple, they're becoming more than a different undertaking. Their goals to succeed with ever rising funds in the face of everyone coming down on them will eventually bear thin. They essentially represent the corruption rooted within the country itself that the show is all about, and while we've been with them for so long and want to see them somewhat escape, we know that they won't. Whether that be physically, mentally, or in another way altogether. And like I said, Part 1 at times makes us not want them to succeed. Especially through the way they toy with their own family, let alone with the Snells and the Navarros. And if Wendy keeps aggravating powerful people, can she really expect her money, power, and privilege to stop the inevitable bullet? And even if she and the birds do manage to survive, will there be any good left? Probably not, but there's still 7 episodes to resolve these decisive questions, and Part 1 sets them up perfectly. It explores what's kept us coming back to Ozark every season, whether it be the tension, the thrills, performances, or corruption. Part 2 of course needs to hit the mark and deliver, following many final seasons of TV being disappointing. It's the problem that shows like Lost, Game of Thrones, and House of Cards have faced come their conclusion. But now we are halfway through Ozark's ending, and it's one that still has us on the edge of our seats, expecting even more greatness and payoff come Part 2. In its biggest narrative move yet, with the death of 2 central characters, it places Ruth at the heart of the show, someone at the very focus of the action and right in harm's way. But more importantly, this follows what much of this season tries to connect us to. And that is the supporting players, or the younger characters, that face the consequences of the older figures around them. Whether it be Harvey, who's grown into the more twisted and chaotic version of his uncle, or how Charlotte and Jonah mirror two opposing ideologies of their parents' effects. Jonah almost despises what his mum and dad have done and sees no way out the more he tries, and Charlotte is fully helping them, hopeful that they will eventually get out. And then there's Ruth, on a path to confront and take down a source of her latest and greatest pain. But like every central player, we are left asking, will that be a source of redemption, or just a continuing sign of their own descent? We'll have to see, but regardless, Ozark is on a path to be one of TV's great shows, and now it's time for that important final act. One that, if delivered on, could place it among the best. But that was my video essay and thoughts on Ozark Season 4 Part 1. Jason Bateman and Laura Linney are once again fantastic this season as they deliver multi-layered performances, whether it be through showcasing their desperation or grief. We haven't really seen this since Season 1, and it gives us a greater picture of the endgame in store, one that leaves us asking, will they get out of this alive? But then there's the other question of, should they? They've gone so deep, and beginning this season with a car crash of their own doing is a perfect touch from the showrunners to really echo that message across, one that will eventually be repeated, and one that we will eventually get an answer to. But like recent seasons, it really is Julie Garner who steals the show, giving us an incredible character arc of someone who is ultimately dealing with the ramifications of the birds and her own aiding actions. Will she make it out of Part 2? Who knows? But she won't go down without giving us another terrific performance. Ultimately, the first half of Season 4 does a perfect job at merging the line between its new elements such as the terrifying new character Harvey, while also bringing the entire story to a satisfying close with characters and plot lines that have kept us gripped throughout. The stakes are as high as they can be, and come Part 2, I have no idea what they are going to do. And that is a great place to be in when a show deals with this much tension and thoughtful storytelling. Maybe it will reach the heights of great shows of the past like Breaking Bad and The Sopranos, or maybe it will turn out to be another example of the failed final season outcome for a TV show. We'll have to see, but right now, I predict it will be the former. I'm giving Ozark Season 4 Part 1 a rating of 8.75 out of 10. But to those who have already seen Part 1 of the final season, what do you think of Ozark on Netflix, and do you agree that it has the potential to have a truly great ending? Let me know down below in the comment section.
I really believe that it's a lot of ramifications, especially with Ruth. I feel like with Ruth, she's going to be on the warpath for this next part of the season finale. And for some reason, I really feel like Ruth is going to get Wendy back. She's going to tell everybody this is Ben's ashes. I don't know a lot about ashes and cremation, and if they can do some DNA trace within cremation. My guess probably is not, but she's going to come out and say, man, Ben's dead, here's Ben's ashes, and Wendy killed her. Like, she's going to try to sabotage Wendy, because Wendy's only threat is Jonah, who told Darlene, who put up all the missing signs. So another threat is actually Jonah. And just seeing Wendy this whole season is kind of like, man, you became extremely diabolical. Extremely, like, from the political power that she got the backing on, to really trying to put forth, and she's jumping out in front of any wrong mistake, just trying to put her foot as far as the whole foundation goes. Like, she's doing the political front and succeeding well because she knows all of the backstabbing, all of the diabolical stuff that goes on. And here's Jonah, who's just tired of it. When he saw Sheriff Nix you know, going to the cremation and they're putting his body in there, he was just like, man, I'm sick of it. You guys lied, and you guys kill, and you guys are getting away with it. So Jonah, this whole season, I was kind of afraid of, because I'm telling myself, like, dude, shut up, because you will die if you don't stop talking, whether it's at the hands of Darlene or his own mom, Wendy, because he had a final straw when he found out that Ben was killed by Wendy. So that's why he confronted his sisters, like, could you kill me? Because that's what mom did. Like, could you actually kill me because of something I'm holding? Like, and he was really shaken by that, which anybody would. Like, once you find out that your own mom killed your uncle and that's her brother, like, you'll be like, you're sick. And I don't want to go down this path because you're sick. And then the fact that they have to go down that path because he's seen so much, and then even starting his own money laundering schemes, and with this software, it was like, oh my gosh, dude, Jonah, if you don't stop, dude, like, it with Wendy went as far as even trying to get him arrested to get him to stop. I'm like, Wendy, jeez, like, you were doing the most, and now your son does not have any trust in you because you try to set him up, you try to stop him, you doing, like, you're just diabolical. And he really is like, man, I have a conscience, I can't be like you, I want to get away from the family. So I look at Ruth probably going after Wendy, and it's going to be a lot of ramifications, even with the Kansas City mob. I feel like how Ruth told them not to kill Darlene, and then he didn't, but now his mob is going to go after him. I keep calling him Tommy, but I forgot his name in here because he's Tommy from Power, but it's his mob is going to go after him, and now it's going to force his hand to become a leader to go after them. So it's going to be a lot going on. Then I feel like with Javi, somehow Marty Bird is going to try to get him in the feds, but he's not going to go. And I just really feel like Javi's going to end up killing Marty. And that's just how, because I liked how this season really went back to the simple where we first started in season 1. They were in Chicago, nice office, real quiet family, like they were good, not knowing that Marty Bird was a successful money launderer, but he was okay. So I feel like them moving back to Chicago from the Ozarks is a nice send-off to how all this started. And I can't wait. I really can't wait. I tell myself, it was so many, it was, you know, anxiety through the roof. It was so many twists and turns, plot twists, even with the FBI agent getting Omar Navarro, switching on the FBI. I'm like, yeah, lady, you may get hit up. Like, cause, you know, Omar was gonna be like, I haven't forgot it was you who messed me over, that type of thing. And Javi is just on a destructive path. He's way worse than Omar, and Omar knows it, but at the same time, it's a succession. So I'm telling myself it's going to be a lot of loose ends tied. I don't know why I feel like Javi is going to kill Marty, but for somehow Javi is going to get arrested or he's going to die. Because I feel like introducing him in this final season is only pinning up for his death or for something of he's going to be a loophole or scapegoat type of person. So I'm telling myself I was here for it. I loved every minute of it. 7 episodes was not enough, but perfect understanding that knowing there's a second part to it. So I'm here for it. Cortex gave it at an 8 out of 5. I give it a 9 out of 10 just because it wasn't enough and I wanted more, but I loved every minute of it. I was here for it. So you guys enjoyed my reaction and review of Ozark Season 4 Part 1 has a perfect ending from Cortex Videos. I will put this video in my description box as well as his channel. Subscribe to Cortex Videos. I do go over here from time to time when I really want to get a lot more inside scoop on movies and TV series that I'm really interested in. I go over to Cortex Videos as well. So hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and post a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of Ozark. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.